Hey guys, this is Johnny FD, and I'm really excited for the Apple Card, and I'm going to explain to you why you should potentially get it as well. I'm definitely going to get it. I'm going to explain why I'm going to get it, the pros and cons, what other cards you should have along with it, if any, who it's for, and actually who it's not for. So let's get started. All right, so if you're new to my channel, my name is Johnny. I'm the co-host of the Invest Like a Boss podcast. We've had on over 100 guests from big name companies, all about investing, how to spend your money, how to invest your money, and more importantly, how not to waste your money. So I've been traveling the world for about 10 years now, and I've been using Apple Pay for a long time. And it's funny, this is a tip one. You can change your home button to double tap to bring up your Apple Wallet. In here, you can have all your different cards, including your new Apple Card. If you haven't started using your Apple Wallet yet or Apple Pay, you're missing out. And I know it's kind of crazy that in the US, in San Francisco, where I'm from, it's actually not that popular to use it. And some places still require you to stick your physical card in, like give your card to someone, they disappear for 20 minutes, they come back. You kind of just hope they didn't clone your card or spend, write down your number or something. And then you have to physically sign something. It's just really archaic if you really think about it. All around all of Asia, Thailand, Taiwan, like Malaysia, just really all of Asia uses Apple Pay or some form of it. I've been using it all around Chiang Mai, where I live every winter. And now that I'm in Europe, I've been using it in Barcelona, all across Spain, in Portugal, all the way to Bulgaria, Ukraine, and even where I am today here in Georgia. In fact, I went to a dive bar here in the Republic of Georgia last night, pulled out my phone, I chose the card I wanted to pay with, and I put down my fingerprint for the fingerprint reader, and that was it. It's so easy to use. And if you want to be a pioneer and you want to help spread this across the world, there needs to be more people that use Apple Pay or kind of just demand it. So by Apple coming out with this a bit prematurely in some people's mind, because a lot of places don't yet take Apple Pay, by having more users, obviously it's the chicken or the egg. So if you want to be a pioneer, you want to help, the future go from cash and go from annoying credit cards you have to give away and come back and sign. This really is the key. It's so much easier to use. So that's one reason, right? But before I get to the other reasons, let me explain to you the kind of terms behind the Apple Card, the fees, the amount of like points you'll collect, the redemptions, all that kind of stuff. So they build it as a new kind of credit card. It's a MasterCard, so anywhere it takes MasterCard all around the world, and they really they give you both a physical card, which is a titanium card, which is gimmicky, right? It's cool. People like it. It's metal. But really, you want to use it for the Apple Pay. So you want to put it on your phone. Apple Wallet, I'm telling you, is so easy to use. And what's cool about the Apple Card is it really just tracks everything that you spend money on. So it helps you kind of clarify how much you're spending on restaurants, how much you're spending for coffee, how much you're spending on gas, all those things. And data is the best way to keep track of your finances and be able to save and budget. So if you ever looked at a credit card statement and you see like some really random words and you don't recognize like where you bought it from, because a lot of times, like for example, La Cambun coffee is too long to spell out on a charge. So it might be LCC, dash IL or something. And you're like, where was this place? It's really easy with the new Apple Card. You can see exactly on Apple Maps where you spent there, how much you spent. And what's really cool is it shows you in very clear English how much money you got back as a reward. So for this, you got 2% money back, which is 37 cents on $18. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, trust me, it really adds up, especially if you're just using it every day for every little purchases. So this is a cool benefit. But let's actually kind of get down to the kind of more exciting parts of it, all right? The most exciting part of this, and this is the reason why You should not listen to people who tell you to get the double cash back, right? They're like, well, 2% isn't very high. You can get double cash back. You can get up to 3 or 4% with this other card. The problem is those cards come with a lot of fees, either a big annual fee, which we'll talk about later, or international travel fees. If you never travel and you never plan to travel and you never want to leave the US, I guess you can get that card. It's fine. But I think every single person watching this channel and everyone in the world should at least want to travel, right? And if you make a trip to Italy, if you go on a trip to Thailand for the winter, you don't want to have to apply for a new card or have to pay these crazy fees or not be able to use your card while you're abroad. I travel a lot. I'm a digital nomad. I work online while traveling full time. So I'm out of the US 11 months of the year, and I only apply for cards that have 0 foreign transaction fees. A lot of them charge 1% or more, which means you're getting cash back, but you're paying way more on fees, and it's annoying, right? So I really like that Apple has been transparent. They're not doing over limit fees. There's no annual fees. There's no cash advance fees. There's just kind of like no other fees. But for me, really, it's the annual fee and the international transaction fee that you have to worry about. I use some other cards, for example, the Venture One, even the Barclays Arrival card, that don't have international fees. However, they have other downsides. They give less cash back. There's annual fees like this Barclays card, which I've actually just downgraded recently. And here's the thing. The Apple card, because it has no annual fee, this is a forever card. This is a card that you can apply for once and you can keep it forever. Even if you don't use it as your primary card, even if you only use it when you buy a new iPhone or a new MacBook or just for Apple Pay, it's fine because there's no fees. You never have to think about it. I have a feeling a lot of people will end up using this as their primary card. I know I will for Apple Pay at least. And whenever I buy a new iPhone or a new MacBook or anything from the Apple Store. But even for kind of bigger purchases, getting back, actually, the 1 or 2% isn't a big deal. And let me show you exactly how that all breaks down. So, yes, cool summaries. Everything's awesome. The daily cash is really nice instead of waiting for a month to get it back. And here's the breakdown of actually how much money they give you back. So, in general, 1% cash back is fair. 1.5% is actually pretty good. And to be honest, for most people that don't want credit card reward hacking to be a second full-time job or even a part-time job, anything that gives you 1.5% cash back, no foreign transaction fees, and you don't have to deal with miles and transferring and trying to figure out how to use it, is actually a fair card. So, like the Capital One Quicksilver, it's a fair card, 1.5%. However, with the Apple Card, it's even better because on the top limit, 3% is very, very good, especially for cash back. Because when you get 3% cash back, you're actually getting $3 for every $100, $30 for every $1,000, $300 every $10,000 you spend. And chances are you're going to spend at least $10,000 a year on your card, even if you're on a budget, even if you're a student. And if you're running a small business or you're traveling a lot, or you're just spending more money, you can end up getting, $3,000 cash back a year for doing nothing, just having the card. But really, that's only for Apple products. So really, if you think about it, you're probably going to buy either a new iPhone or a new MacBook, maybe once a year, once every 2-3 years, whatever it is. And it's like $2,000, right? So $60 back, it's pretty good for not having to do anything. So why not use it every time you're going to buy something from Apple anyways? More likely, this 2% is what you're going to be using every day. This is the reason why I'm getting it. The 3% really is a bonus that I'm going to use once a year, once every couple of years. The 2% is literally me buying coffee, tapping my phone, going to a restaurant, tapping my phone, going to the metro station here in Tbilisi, Georgia, or in Kiev, Ukraine, and being able to skip the queue of waiting in line to buy a ticket or to go to a machine and buy a ticket, especially if I'm only somewhere for a week and I don't want to have to buy a card for a couple of dollars and have another card in my wallet. I can literally just go up, pick the card I want, my Apple Pay card, go up to the machine, press it, it goes ding, and I go inside. I was shocked that here in Tbilisi, Georgia, I went on a Marshuka bus, which are these old, crappy looking buses. They're like 30 cents to ride, but they all have these machines. So instead of going up to the driver, bothering the driver, you go up, and anywhere that takes NFC, so those cards that people buy for like a monthly pass or something, instead of buying that card, I can just go up, ding, 30 cents later, it shows up on my phone to show exactly how much I spent instantly. It's so easy to use. I really love it. I would like to see this more in the US, more around the world. But the way to get that is for more people to sign up for things like the Apple Card and more people to use it and get used to it. So think of yourself as a pioneer, but also when you travel to places like in Europe or in Asia that already have it set up, you're set. And 2% is very, very, very good. I would say this is like an A- already. Sure, if you want to dedicate 20 hours a week to trying to figure out, how to churn cards, avoid fees, avoid fines, avoid overdrafting, avoid missing a payment, and have the chance of screwing up, but also the chance of making a little bit more money, yeah, go ahead. There's ways to do that as well. I'll explain that later in this video. But for 99.9% of the world, and you probably are not that 0.01%, unless you just love credit card hacking and you just love reading about it 40 hours a week. I don't have time for that. I would rather spend those 40 hours a week learning something about my actual business that'll make me a lot more money than try to get the free round of the world ticket once every 3 years. Because trust me, I know all those professional credit card hackers. None of them have that much money. All of them, they spend all their time trying to get something for free when they could have just been building their business, doing something else, making a lot more money, and being happy with the 1.5%. In this case, you're getting 2%. I'm going to be very, very happy with that. So that's amazing. The 1%, that's going to be on the physical card. To be honest, I don't plan on using the physical card ever. I'll have it. And I guess it's a good backup card. So I will keep it as a good backup card because there are no foreign transaction fees. So I can use it around the world. It's a cool looking card, titanium. And 1% is not bad. So I don't plan on using it as my daily card, but for sure, 100%, I recommend, and I will personally use the Apple Pay card. Go ding, get 2%, not think about it. And paying it off is going to be really easy. It's going to be really hard to miss a payment because it's going to just flash on your phone all the time. If you miss one credit card payment, it kills all the rewards you potentially would have gotten on sign-up bonuses, on the extra little bit you can potentially get. And here's the thing, credit card companies are not stupid. The reason why they're able to give you 50,000 miles as a sign-up bonus, or 2 or 3%, 2.1% back on in cash for something else, is because they know people mess up. And I guarantee every single credit card hacker has messed up. They just don't tell you about it because they don't want to feel stupid. And they don't want to admit it to themselves because they don't want to feel stupid. I've missed payments before by accident, and sometimes they'll refund it, sometimes they won't. But all that work to try to get that little extra, and they have to juggle 7 cards, remember when to pay what, remember what to put on what card, it's just not worth it for me. And I don't think it's worth it for most of you as well. So with the new Apple Card, it's going to be so much easier. You just pay from your phone. You can see what you actually spent, and it's just a no-brainer. Like, the fees are going to be a non-issue, and this is a card I'm excited to get, and I'm excited to keep forever. So, especially if you travel, especially if you want to be a pioneer, especially if you don't want to think about, reward hacking. And to be honest, it sounds cool. People love getting free stuff. I will recommend one card that everyone should get aside from this. But for now, yes, get the Apple Card, sign up for it, and As soon as it's available, be one of the first to get it. I know I'm going to get it. Now, the only actual other card I would recommend people get is a Chase Sapphires Reward card. This is for anyone who travels a lot and wants something called the Priority Pass. I actually have it on my phone here under Priority Pass. And I don't want to show you my card. I don't want you to use it. But basically, it's here. It's under Priority Pass. What this is, if you have never used it, it's a lounge access card that lets you use any business class lounge around the world that accepts Priority Pass, which is a lot of them. I've been to over 50 countries now. I normally go to about 5 or 10 countries a year, flying through, internationally every few months. And I love using the business class lounges. You get free food, you get a shower, you get a quiet, nice place to rest or work. You get free coffee, free drinks. It's a really nice experience. Apple Card doesn't come with all these perks. I think Apple Card's a great day-to-day card. So with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you also get no foreign transaction fees. You get the Priority Pass, which is the amazing lounge access. But you also get things like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry that you can use. It's pretty expensive. It's $450 a year for membership, but you get a lot of that back in the sign-up bonus, as well as travel credit, things like that. So if you do travel a lot, and I'm talking about more than, let's say, 4 times a year, then it's worth getting. But the actual points, it's much better to get that, do the minimum spend just to get your Priority Pass, because it is worth it. But I would still get the Apple Card for daily spend. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to use my new Apple Card for my daily phone use. So every time I buy something, whether it's coffee or lunch, or I go out or take a metro, whatever it is, ding, ding, ding. I'm going to use it whenever I buy a new iPhone or a new Apple product like new MacBook. But I'm going to have my Priority Pass, and there's another way to get it is to have a friend that has a Chase Sapphire Reserve, get a sub account under them, and then you can both get one. But if you don't have a friend that has one, that is a good benefit. However, the rewards, and here's when it gets tricky, and this is what people love nerding about, but I've spoken to a lot of very smart people, the experts on this, the people that literally have the travel card and reward blogs, and even they get confused, because that is the point of why they were giving you miles and not cash. If they just wanted to give you cash, they would have given you cash. They give you miles to confuse people and to trick people into thinking that they're getting a better deal than they are. So with the Chase Sapphires Reserve card, as well as most of the other cards that give you these bonuses, they don't give you $500 in cash. They give you 50,000 points. And you have to try to convert that. And you're like, okay, well, I can do the math. It's pretty simple. But remember, you can't just buy something and use those as points. You have to go through their portal, go through their BS, try to figure out, do I transfer it to this other card? Can I use it on this airline? Can I use it on this airline? And I will guarantee that most of the time you're not getting a good deal, because if you are shopping in cash, you can really look on Kayak, or you can look on Skyscanner and really get the best deal, pay for it, and then use your cash back rewards to pay for it later. When you're shopping through their channel, their portal, you are shopping where they want you to look, and you're comparing an Apple versus their other Apple. So you're never really getting the best deal you can get, both cash-wise, but also time-wise. By me having the flexibility of booking all my flights in cash, I'm able to pick the most direct flights with one stopover or less, the best times where I don't have to go to the airport at 2 a.m. or wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the airport for 7 a.m. flight. I can choose the flights that I want to choose. I can choose if I want to fly business class and pay the extra money, or I can choose if I want to pay economy, save some money. I can shop every single airline. I never have to worry about it. I can tell myself, hey, I'm using my bonus cash to pay for the flight, but technically that's just cash that you would have had anyways. With the miles, most people are tricking themselves into thinking that they're actually getting a better deal than they are. I guarantee that. I've looked at the numbers. I've had people try to explain to me what they're doing, and even them, they lie to themselves at some point. That's how it works. That credit card companies are not stupid. The reason why Apple wants you to use this card and why they're willing to give you this fair amount of money is because they're charging the merchants a good amount of money, 2%, maybe 2.1, 2.5% for the privilege of using, of going through their transaction portal. So Apple benefits, they're passing along a lot of those savings to us. So we should be happy and grateful. And I'm grateful, I'm happy. I'm gonna get the Apple Card. I think you should as well. If you have any questions, you have any comments, leave a comment in the chat below. I'd be curious to talk to you. Let me know if you sign up for the Apple Card, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If you have any questions, again, to kind of wrap it up, the card is for people who like to travel or plan to travel, that have an iPhone especially, or plan to get an iPhone, so you can use the Apple Pay. Actually, yeah, you need an iPhone, so you have to have an iPhone. Or if you buy a new iPhone or Mac every year, you want that 3% back. You just want something easy. This card is not for someone who wants to apply for 7 cards and 7 different browsers and then keep track and juggle points and have a literal 20 to 40 hour a week part-time to full-time job trying to get free stuff. It's just, that's not what this card is for. This card is something you can keep forever. I plan on keeping it forever. I highly recommend it. So leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I would be happy to clarify any questions you might have. So again, this is the new Apple Card, which hopefully will be out by the time you watch this. So check out the video, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Hit notifications if you want the latest updates, and I hope to see you somewhere in the world. Bye, guys.